Hi everyone, my name is Ben Barnett and I am delighted that my good friend, mentor and teacher, John Holman, the designer of the Hydrotherm massage system, has invited me to put together a series of educational videos to help therapists like yourself and some clients to take their knowledge of how massage works and how to get the most powerful results win their therapy to the next level. Okay. Now, for the last 26 years, I've been using this system. I was fortunate enough to meet John right at the beginning of my massage career and be instrumental in designing the massage techniques that go with Hydrotherm. I've been lucky enough to train all over the world, teaching those to physiotherapists, sports therapists, aromatherapists, and within top spas in hotels and venues around the world. And I've been lucky enough to work with a cross-section of clients from aged 8 to 88, and from professional athletes, and my background was professional football, through to people who have had severe disabilities and life-limiting illness, and even in palliative care. And so I know that these techniques are extraordinarily versatile and powerful. But what John and I have decided to do is to focus on three distinct aspects of massage in these series of videos and give you information that's succinct so that you can really get your hands on information that can build your confidence and your effectiveness in your therapy work. The first aspect of that is close to John's heart and has been really useful for me in the way that John has taught Hydrotherm trainers, and that is advanced anatomy and physiology. But the idea is to bring that anatomy and physiology to life and make it usable for you. The second aspect of it are the actual Hydrotherm massage techniques themselves. Now, sometimes it will be refreshing those of you who have already been trained with us, and it will be informing therapists of what you can do differently with this face-up massage system, and how you can get access to areas in a way that's comfortable for your clients and more effective for your techniques. And then my particular area of specialization, which is looking at how emotions and thought trigger and even are held in different parts of the body, both from a Western perspective and also looking at some Eastern understanding that comes from my study of traditional Chinese medicine as an auricular acupuncturist and a Reiki practitioner, that comes from my understanding of the chakra system, but also looks from a Western point of view at a model very similar to post-traumatic stress disorder. So how the stress either of dramatic events or low-level difficulties in life can actually shape the body and get in the way of normal systems of wellness and repair and optimization of how the body works. So bringing those three areas together in each of our series of videos, the idea is to leave you more informed about what you're doing, what areas you're actually working on when you massage, to leave you more confident that the techniques you're going to deliver can produce the results that you want to produce, and also to help you and your clients understand how to manage day-to-day living, how to increase their performance in areas that they might want to have breakthroughs in, whether they are physical, emotional or mental, and to be able to take their self-care and well-being to the next level, whether they're with you in your treatment room or whether they are away from you and putting into practice what's come up during their sessions. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and I look forward to your comments and feedback. So the first muscle that we're going to look at from our three perspectives, so that is from an anatomy and physiology perspective, from a Hydrotherm massage perspective, and also from an emotional mapping of the body perspective, is the upper division of trapezius. So the origin of the upper division of trapezius is quite complex. So there's a number of areas. One is the occipital protuberance right here where my thumb is. Okay, so that's in the hairline. It also attaches to the upper half of the superior neutral line going across here. It attaches to the neutral ligament, which runs along from C1 to C6, so the spinous processes of C1 to C6. And it also has its origin on the lateral third of the spine of the scapula. Okay, you can see it articulating a little bit. If I do this, you can see the muscle just raising the shoulder in conjunction with some other muscles there as well. Okay, so it's a complex anatomy. We'll talk about the anterior part of it in a moment when we start to look at the hydrotherm movements. So if we now look at some of the techniques that you can use working on the trapezius with hydrotherm, just doing our standard effleurage. I'm actually seated at the moment. What you can see is we have this access underneath the shoulders without the client having to compromise their position, without them having to move. That means that I can actually get to the front and the back of trapezius, the anterior and posterior parts of it at the same time. And I can articulate the shoulders to release tension in trapezius from almost every direction. I can do knuckling into this area, I can work with both hands, forward and back, I can get underneath the shoulder blade. So I have unprecedented access. I can come right the way up into the occipital protuberance, and follow the neutral line along this whole area through here. So I can do some really effective work. And I'm working both sides and the muscle groups on both sides of this area, which means that you get this much more powerful relaxation effect than you do if the client's lying face down for part of the work of the trapezius and then having to turn over to work on the second half. Now, if we look at some of the work that we can do on trapezius while I'm standing up, we've got a whole variety of ways of accessing. So we've got things like this, like the figure of 8 effleurage. You can go to the side, following trapezius, and the muscle chain right the way down through triceps. You can also bring the arm out, across the body, and work all through this area. We can bring the arm into a number of different positions that allow the therapist just much more ease of access and allows the client to be in a really relaxed, neutral position. But equally, if we start to talk a little bit about the emotions that are mapped in trapezius, because it attaches into the back of the head, it relates to how we perceive our world and how we hold on to past experiences like evidence. The back of the neck relates to then communication, so how much we talk to ourselves about what's happened, what we think we should be doing or what should be happening, or what we think we should have done. And these muscles often become tense when we start to put ourselves under pressure because of things that we haven't done. So pressure literally sits on the shoulder almost like a weight we're carrying. This area also is activated by the idea of effort or work, like how much we should be putting in to be able to receive, and that links into some other things in the shoulders. But emotions like guilt for not having done enough or not having said something, regret about something in the past that we can't come back to, all of those things can trigger tension in this part of the body, which means that sometimes when you're working with a client, they'll be lying there, and instead of just being completely neutral and relaxed, they'll actually be trying to help you because that part of their body is remembering what it hasn't done or thinks it should have done and is trying to do something now to compensate or make up for it. Okay? You'll often hear that with clients talking about why they haven't come in for treatments, why it takes them ages to relax. And actually to be able to let this whole area go fundamentally comes down to believing that it's okay to step away from all of the pressures that we put on ourselves and equally some of the responsibilities and roles that we play, and actually just be here for something that's going to directly benefit the individual. So on ideas like self-care and mindfulness all can be challenged by tension in the shoulders, but can really benefit this area, being able to switch off, letting go of that pain or that burning sensation that people can have when we're always relating to life as a series of challenges or tests or something we need to do next.